Greetings over the diaspora for those that don't speak the languages that we speak. Welcome back to our second part of our Sacred Connections, IntoMeSee, with Mbumi, sharing on her stories growing up in a plural marriage family. So she's a child of polygamy. And yeah, the last time we caught up was how, the images that we see on the usual on TV, how we're thinking it's all collective. Also how Gogo Solo was here and how she was explaining the whole thing, how no, it's so communal, but she had a different experience. And I wanted to also ask her, okay, why do the boy children receive it better versus the girl children? So Shomi, you were telling us about what the boarding school stories. You moved to boarding school.
Okay, cool.
And welcome back.
Hi guys. So I went to boarding school, and I think for me it helped to be in boarding school, like I said, because it's a chance to have some sort of stability. Yeah, but then I'm not gonna be worried about when I want to eat, I'm not gonna be home, I'm gonna have another attack, it's just relaxed kind of vibe. And I think in as much as it was an escape, I think it also worked in my favor because of the education that I got. Like, as much as I went through a very different experience to all of my siblings, and I think all of us are going to have a very different experience, with a lot of negative, because there's things that didn't work that could have been done better.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot of positives as well within the mix. So it's kind of accepting the good with the bad, and it's accepting that as much as you can see the good, it's because as much as you can see the bad, it's because there's also good. You're not gonna know what's good is. You don't know what's bad.
Yeah.
And also it's kind of a mind bag.
Yeah.
So you asking me about school?
Well, I'm gonna ask you about school, but I wanna know, when your situation happened with your love letter to your friend, like the parent, was there never a chance where the parents said, but at Meles Kuza the situation as parents, okay, this child went wrong? Like, was there never a conversation that happened between
I wouldn't know, because it's not a conversation that's going to happen like in my presence. But at the same time, I think based on the situation, I think everyone handled the situation as best as they could at the time.
Yeah. Parenting is very tricky, hey, because for me,
you've never been a parent before.
Yeah.
You've never been in this situation, and I can kind of understand perhaps maybe where my stepmother was coming from, because also I think polygamy works if it's a common goal, where each member of the equation puts
adding
and adds value onto a grand collective goal, because then we're gonna move together and we're not gonna bash each other down, and there's not going to be any competition, because everyone knows what we are working towards, and I don't make this person feel like they are more valuable, or you understand. So if you do it correctly, I can absolutely understand how it can really be a very big powerhouse, because if the women are aligned, then the children are also going to be aligned. You understand.
So like how Tulu was saying, how it mustn't be last base, because if it's last base, then there is a possibility of the clashes, which is what I was saying to you off camera. Like, it's a battle for me, like somebody who is already a mother fails to mother other children even though they don't come from the womb. So it's I guess it's those tricky things that parenting, I guess,
Because you can be a mother and I can be a mother, and just because we are both mothers, it doesn't mean we mother the same. You are going to be someone who wants to collectively mother all the children, and all children are safe around me, regardless if they're from my womb. I'm possibly going to be someone who's going to want to protect just my fruit, because this is who I brought in. And if your fruit is possibly a reminder, or your fruit is validating my insecurities, or do you know what I mean? It's gonna be very hard for me to be.
I think it's a question I had. Like, say somebody maybe leaves their family. Let's say a guy leaves their family, doesn't father their own children, but is able to go and play step up dad to somebody else.
Step up dad to somebody else as well. So I also think I don't know, guys, because these are ills that has been happening, and in as much as we know of them, you have a responsibility now as umzali. It's hard not to. It's hard not to impose, for lack of a better word, your beliefs or your experiences on your child, because most of the time it comes from a good place, because you just feel like, based on what I went through, this is what I would have appreciated at that age.
Yeah.
This is what I didn't have, and I want to make sure you have. We understand that, and it's also you want to make your child strong, because yes, this is your child and you're responsible to mother this person, but what happens if I lose my life before my child is independent or strong enough to stand up for themselves? You know, I don't want them to have like rose-tinted shades about what the world is, about how people are, about how things sometimes work, some things don't work. Sometimes things that are horrible happen, but good things come out of it. Sometimes you have horrible things happen to you, but they actually build something beautiful inside of you. So it's very complex.
The safari.
It's very complex, but I think at the end of the day, it's also just important, regardless of how your family situation was as a child, it doesn't mean that you don't have control over the family that you make for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you didn't have the childhood that you wanted, you didn't have happiness, or you didn't have whatever. You can create that now, because now you are responsible for what happens in your life, what you accept in your life, what you bring into your life. You can't keep holding on to,
do you feel you're a little scarred? Like, would you consider, before meeting Sol, would you have considered a polygamous?
No.
And
I'm share, guys. I'm very much a mine.
Yeah.
It's mine, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be able to share. Also because I've got a warped reality to how it works.
Yeah.
You know? So no, guys.
Yeah.
But like I said, I can see how it can work if it's done correctly. But I'm just a bit too bruised to even give myself a chance to be like, oh, it's gonna be different with you now. I don't have that.
I don't know. Thank you so much. Do you wanna share any other story from those days? Did anybody find out eventually, okay, you guys have siblings, because you had other siblings in your school, right? But you don't share a mom. Have you had that experience? And since you're saying this is a part of your life you wanted to protect, but now we're in a police situation here at home.
So I've been in a school with my siblings. It's always been my siblings with my mother. Right? And then my little brother, he's the only other sibling who's not from my mother that I was in school with. And then in varsity, that little brother's sister, because they had the same mom, I went to varsity with her. So that's the experience of school that I had with my siblings. But it's only those two other siblings that have been in the same school as me. So I don't really have.
It sounds nice. It's like you have a permanent friend and you can't even help it.
Yeah, it is nice, and we've always been friends, like from when we were babies. She's always been my girl.
Like you have cousins all the time, or you always have somebody there.
Especially with that sister, like she was like my best friend.
Yeah.
You know, like it's we a year apart. We share common interests.
Music.
We love music. We love fashion. She's a makeup artist. She's God. Okay. My dad has really beautiful children.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Nima.
And they 7. I'm not I've got 6 sisters, so we're high and stuff.
That's right. That's right.
So you build a very big and amazing relationship with a sister who's your sister because of your dad.
Yeah.
You know, and you kind of see how good things come out of situations that are so awkward.
Yeah.
You know, because both of us experienced that, being made to feel like you are a visitor or an intruder in our father's home, you know, with somebody who we grew up with, knowing that she's our other mom and our other brothers and sisters, but making us feel like, you know. So you've got that kind of vibe going on, and then you've also got the drama that we had to face when we were in varsity, with my dad not wanting to pay for like a digs because he felt it was expensive, and now we're living in the RDP house in an area called Jondo, like in the Jondos. And then it doesn't make sense because you go to a really good varsity and you're getting a really good education, but it's transgender. Do you know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have this conversation with you and Ms. 063 because if she's open though, I don't think she likes people knowing that she's from she went to private school and stuff. So I don't know. It would be nice. I'd like to hear your guys' perspectives, and maybe we can maybe dial it down to I don't know whatever social issues there would be, whatever for guys the concentration camp feature. But thank you so much, my friend, for sharing a very intimate space. I know it's also quite scary because you're thinking, what's my father gonna think if he sees us, or but it is
it doesn't come from a place of disrespect. It comes from a place of
it's your experience. Yes, and I've always wanted to know how does it feel Vela growing up inside, because TV is something different to versus a lived experience, and how where I remember with season 1 it was crazy how King are now open to such a lifestyle because the mind behind it. But when you actually see actually the envy also kind of exists a little bit, it's not all harmony all the time, but there's the why not, don't I get this? So it's nice to speak to somebody who has the lived experience to it. And man, I'm glad you turned out well. So parenting, it is tricky, Shem. Maybe your dad did feel he's doing the best he could then, also instill the discipline. Maybe for that, would he, it's then if you don't want to be here, maybe but it toughened you. But
I also think our parents don't have the same experiences we have. Like my dad doesn't have that much of an education, and I think for him he wanted to give me a good education, but that education helped me critical think on another level. It opened me up to other things and other opinions and things that possibly aren't aligned with maybe what he was intending, or do you know what I mean? So it's very
wishy-washy. No, thank you so much, guys. Please do like, please do subscribe, please do comment. We love engaging with you guys. If you have questions for her, please do ask. We're gonna feature her. We're gonna feature her on another feature. I thought she'd introduce herself better. I'm an actress, I'm a businesswoman, but thank you so much for the love and being with us in this feature that we do on Thursdays, Sacred Connections. Happy today, and we're out.